Hey everybody, I'm coming making this video message and I want to tell you all, stop allowing people who control the content that they put out to make you compare your life to their life. I posted in my community tab a couple of days ago how you have to stop comparing your life to somebody else's controlled content, because one thing that I think escapes a lot of you is the simple fact that people are going to post about what they want you to see. People are going to talk about what they want to tell you. But you gotta know that there's a whole other situation going on behind the veil of every single person's life that you know or who you come across. And what's sad is that a lot of you all, you have got so engulfed in social media that you find yourself raging and full of jealousy, raging and full of envy, raging and full of anger. You're depressed, you're sad, and you think that you're a nobody. You think that you are a failure. You think or believe that you are behind in life because every day you're logging into Facebook, every day you're logging into Instagram, every day you're coming up on YouTube and you are seeing hundreds and hundreds or probably thousands of people posting controlled content. Let me tell you all something that's real, because a lot of you all need a reality check. The reality check is this: where you see a lot of people posting a house, I'm not saying that in every situation people have not worked their butt off and that they don't make great money that helps them to be able to afford a house. I'm not saying that that's everybody's situation. There are people who work hard, they are educated, and they have the money to actually close on a house. I'm not talking about those people. I'm talking about the simple fact that is not every single person's story that you see on social media. There are people, just because they want affirmation, just because they want to prove something, just because they want to show off, just because they want to intentionally invoke rage and anger and jealousy in you, they will post something that they know the majority of their audience may not have. Let me break that down for a second. Some of you all on Facebook, most of the people you're friends with on Facebook, they probably are people that you graduated with from high school. You probably graduated with them from high school. You probably graduated with them from college. You probably knew these people from when you were a child. You all grew up together. You lived in the same neighborhood as them. And so here and there you hear different things about certain people. So you know who's doing pretty good. You know who lives on their own. You know who's college educated. You know the type of car somebody drives that you graduated from high school with, if you are keeping in contact with some people. Because sometimes you can keep in contact with a couple of people from high school and you're not a messy, gossipy person, but those couple of people that you talk to and interact with, they will bring up certain people names and they will tell you about what those people have going on. And so if you are operating in the wrong spirit, hear me, hear what I'm saying. If you are operating in the wrong spirit and you want to prove something to somebody, I don't care if you got two things. You will post the little that you got because you want to make people feel some type of way. If you're not guilty of it, I'm telling you, a lot of people on social media, that is the spirit and operation behind them. Use discernment. There are some people, they know you don't have a house. They know you don't have a car. They know you don't have a husband. They know you don't have a wife. They know you don't have children. They know you were evicted. They know that you're broke. They know that you don't have a job. And what do? Because maybe they had an experience with you 5 or 10 years ago and you fell out with them for various reasons. You may have had an argument with them and you may have called them out of their name. You may have at once told them they're a nobody. You may have talked about their appearance. You did or said something that may have been offensive to them. And because of that, they will come on social media and they will intentionally post their husband. They will intentionally post their wife. If they know for a long time you've been single and you get a man or you get a woman, but you can't keep them, but they are actually married, they will intentionally, this is not everybody, but some of them, they will post their husband or their wife to make you feel some type of way. They will post their house or their car to make you feel some type of way because they know you still in a 1-bedroom apartment or a studio apartment, but they have a 3, 4, 5-bedroom house. A lot of people on social media, they want the affirmation. They want the pats on the back. And so all I'm telling you all, stop comparing your life to somebody's controlled content, because the people who are not 100% truthful, they have real things going on behind the scenes. Somebody can post a picture of their car or their house. You don't know if that car is on the repossessed list. You don't know if that house is in foreclosure. Somebody can show you pictures of their beautiful apartment. You don't know if they're behind 2 or 3 months in their rent. You don't know if they have already gotten an eviction notice. There are some people, they post their boyfriend, they post their girlfriend, they post their husband or their wife, but behind the scenes, they're physically fighting each other. They may have gotten a disease from that man or that woman that they're with. They're constantly cheating on them, or they're cheating on each other. But here you are scrolling and looking and jealous and envying them, and you're looking at yourself saying, I'm a loser, I'm a failure, I don't have a man, I don't have a woman, I'm not married yet. But I see this couple, they are my couple goals. But you don't know what's going on behind the scenes. People post what they want you to see. People tell you what they want you to know. You really think a lot of the majority of people on social media are going to come up there and tell you what they're failing at? You think they're going to come up there and let you inside of their life to show you the ugly sides of it? And no, I'm not saying people have to tell you their business, but what I'm saying is that some of you all, you are depressed. You don't want to go outside. You are working inhumane hours and breaking your neck, working your fingers to the bone because you want to prove something to people, because you are engulfed in social media and content that you are seeing on social media. Let me tell you something, baby, you better get out here and live your life. I don't care about how ugly certain things are in your life. When it's time for you to get elevated, when it's time for you to get money, when it's time for you, if God has called you to a certain level of fame and notoriety, you better let God do it. You would be better off allowing God to do something in your life than you doing something and you being self-seeking. The bottom line of this video message is to tell all of you who've clicked play, if you are guilty of comparing your life to the life of other people, you have got to change your situation and turn it around today. Don't you dare compare your life to what you see other people posting when they are only posting you a small portion of the glimpse inside of their life. I don't care how much bragging someone does. Behind the scenes, you don't know what tears people are crying. You don't know what meltdowns people are having. You don't know mentally where someone is. You don't know hits that people are taking behind the scenes. Stop getting caught up and engulfed again with what you see on social media. Stop becoming obsessed with content. People post all types of stuff. They have a point to prove. They want to be known. They want to be popular. But I'm going to tell you all something. When you start out and you are intentionally putting out information about who you are, if it's a lie or if it is embellished or grossly exaggerated, The minute that you fall off or fail, people will laugh at you and clown you and call you a liar, or they will break their neck to expose you, to show the world that you are not who you say you are. Stop comparing yourself to people controlling what they post. You don't know everybody's story. You don't have all the answers. You don't know all the information. All of us behind the scenes, and after the camera goes off, or after that person turns off their microphone, and after they wipe the makeup off their face and take off the fancy suit and the dress, and they take off their wig and take out their contacts and take off their jewelry and their Cuban link chain, whatever it is, there are real battles that many of us are facing and fighting behind the scenes. It's time for a lot of you, especially in the kingdom of God, it's time for you to get busy. What do I mean when I say it's time for you to get busy? It's time for you to get busy and get back to reality. Social media is not reality. It's a fantasy. It's a dream. It's not 100% real. It's not 100% real. And a lot of you all, you have made social media an idol. You cannot focus on God. You cannot focus on who and what God has called you to be, because you keep living your life every day and doing things on a day-to-day basis because you want to prove something to the people who follow you. You so busy trying to show off. You want to prove something to your YouTube subscribers. You want to prove something to your Instagram followers. You want to prove something to your Facebook friends list. So what if people called you out of your name and told you you would never amount to anything? So what if people clowned you and laughed at you because they saw you at a time where you were broke, or they caught you at a time where you lost everything? So what? What about it? Circumstances change, opportunities change, money comes and goes, levels go up and down. Sometimes God will have you sit down because he's punishing you and dealing with you because you did something a couple of years ago and now it's your judgment season. It's not that he wants you there forever, but for a season you may have to sit on the bench for a little while, and then he will launch you after you've gotten your butt whipping. It's time for you to live your life. Watch how much stuff you get done when you slowly start to wean yourself off social media. Some of you all, you have never been off social media. Every day, 4, 5, 10 times a day, you're constantly posting, and then your emotions is all over the place because a lot of you all, you get highly offended because there are some people you're like, I know she saw that I posted that I got a new job. I know he saw me post that I just moved. I know they just saw that I just opened up a restaurant or a beauty salon. They didn't even like it. Oh, it's haters out here. One thing you have found out with social media is that you don't know that everybody is at a different level, because some people, you don't even know, they may not have even been on social media for the past couple of months. They may be fasting from it. But because you were so accustomed to them at one point liking all of your stuff, and you no longer see hearts or reactions, you feel like they hating on you. Little did you know they've been off social media for 2 or 3 months. Little did you know that behind the scenes they've been sick. They haven't logged in. Or if they logged in, they was up there for 5 or 10 minutes. You all have got to think. And this is the game that the enemy plays with a lot of people when it comes to technology and when it comes to social media. This is how wrapped up and lost a lot of people get. People, let's get it together. It is time for you all to back away from social media. And it is time for you all to get into the presence of God. Start seeking and asking God what it is that he wants you to do, where it is he wants you to go, who it is he wants you to be. You've got to be more concerned about what it is that God would have you to do than you waking up every day and your feet hitting the floor and you worried about what you want to show the world wide web. Stop comparing your life to everybody else's life. It's already probably difficult enough for you to be who you are and live your life. The Bible promises that a man has enough troubles in one day. So how are you sitting back looking at the lives of other people and comparing it? I wish I would compare my life to somebody else's. I don't care how much better they're doing than me in life. I don't care. The little that I have and what God have blessed me with and the people that God have around me, I am thankful because God didn't even have to do that. We don't even deserve a quarter of what God has given us. But because of his love, his consistency, and his grace and his mercy, that is why we do have the things that we have. It is offensive when you sit back to God and you're actually lining up and pegging what you have going on in your life or what you've accomplished next to somebody else. You should be irritated by now when you see the same people bragging about the same thing, because a lot of you all, you're very familiar with your audience. You're familiar with your Facebook friends list. You're familiar with your Instagram and your YouTube. You already know who's going to come up there and brag. Go back into your memories. Pay attention to that. And the enemy will play a game with you, because you will go up there and post a certain thing and say a certain thing, and you said it 1 or 2 years ago, but the very thing that you went through 1 or 2 years ago, it happened again this year. And you may sit back and be like, how is that happening? Go to that memory. You'll be like, oh, okay, a lot of you are, you're not going to catch this. But the enemy, he will use your words against you. He will go all the way back. This is when the monitoring spirits come in, and they are monitoring what you're saying and the information you're giving and what you're posting, and they will attack it. People that have that spirit in them, the enemy will do it too. But the very thing that you said and what you talked about and you bragged about, the opposite will begin to happen. And you'll see it happen 1 or 2 years later. It'll be like deja vu. And it'll keep happening. I'm telling you all, stop comparing your life to other people. Your regular, boring, mediocre life. There are some people that probably wishes, they probably cry tears because they wish they had your life. If your life is drama-free, if you have peace in your life, if you don't have to worry about keeping up an appearance and wearing fancy clothes and looking rich, or you don't have to have a certain luxury car, that's living a peaceful life. You not stressed out. Because can you imagine every day you coming up posting pictures and videos of your car and your fancy jewelry and clothes and these big checks you get from your job? What if something happens where you get sick and you lose the job? God forbid, what if something happens and you lose that car? God forbid, what if something happens and you can no longer afford that house and you gotta move and you gotta downgrade? Now you ashamed, now you embarrassed. And people will clown you and they will say, you're fake. I thought he or she had all of this money. See, if you just normal and you just regular and you just real, you don't have to keep up an appearance. You don't feel pressure to go out of your way to work all of these hours to build up and generate enough money to go buy that one Gucci sweater or that one Louis Vuitton bag to put it on the shelf and make somebody think that you get into the bag, or that you a rich man or you a rich woman and you know you're not. You know your credit is bad. You know you're in debt. You don't have to work overtime to force your partner or to force your boyfriend or girlfriend or your spouse to do certain things on camera, but behind the scenes you all hate each other. When you live a regular, normal life and you protect your husband and you protect your wife and you protect your children and you protect the people that you love, you are not stressed out and overwhelmed with keeping up an appearance. Love your life. You have nothing to prove. The video is not for everybody, but those who get it, you get it, and those who won't, you just won't. I unapologetically release it. That's the video message. Well, guys, it's time for me to go because I have some other things to do. The Lord willing, I will be back with another video message. If any one of you have been offended by anything I spoke about in this video message, it's okay. It's all right. I'm not worried about it. I am not concerned because I know you will forgive me in the morning.